Welcome to the Cryptotwits Podcast. This is episode number 4 or 5. I don't know. We just got back from an offsite in Arizona. And I'm your host, John Morgan. Co-host here, Joe Cilantro. Joey Cilantro. He and Mike Bowling, they host the True Odds Podcast. Like I made the joke last week. 90% football talk, 10% the markets. Maybe somewhere around there.
Sounds about right.
And yeah, it's snowing a lot out here. I'm in Michigan, so if you have any listeners from Michigan, by the way, there's a 100-car pileup drone video. If y'all have not Googled that shit is crazy. And but also I don't understand how people still get in accidents like that. It's like you have lived here before, you have had winter. How do you? I don't know. Anyways, okay.
Man, it's going to get wild here in Virginia because we're not used to so much snow, and we're set to get between 25 to 30 inches. So I can only imagine what I-95 is going to look like.
Right. How much snow does Virginia get?
We never get this much. Like Northern Virginia, I think the most since I moved here in 2019 was like 8 or 9 inches. And now we're talking 26 to 27 on Sunday alone. People aren't going to know what to do. It's already to the point where like there's no milk in stores because apparently all we do is live off milk.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, everyone's freaking out about firewood. It's like, I've got like a forest behind me. I can make wood. There's going to be so much snow. Melt it. You got water. Like, we're fine.
Listen, the people who go to, who like are at Costco on days like today are the same people that I know when there is an EMP attack, they are the first to go.
Yep.
Because one, they were not prepared, and two, I don't know what the other reason is, but they're just not prepared.
Yeah, if you're going to die because you don't have milk and toilet paper, like you're not meant to be here.
And at the same time, is that a world I really want to stay around in for very long? No milk, no toilet paper. Is that?
Well, you got the 3 seashells. Dude, throwback.
The seashells that we have here in Michigan are very tiny and very sharp. It would take a long time to clean anything.
I just got a visual of that.
Yep, that's where I was going for. All right. So we're eventually going to talk about crypto here. So what are we going to be talking about? Not wiping bums with itty bitty dolls. You got Trump's Greenland stuff. So some of this stuff like isn't a thing anymore because Trump's Greenland stuff and how it affected the market. We've got the ETF bloodbath that has happened, the Regulatory Act. Joey's going to talk to us about Figure because that is a great example of a tie-in of the crypto space, blockchain space into the traditional finance space. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to go over... Let's see. Oh, if we have time, we'll talk about Eric Adams rugging everybody in New York Times Square. One of the like worst social engineering wallet hacks ever, and some of the craziest like liquidations that I found on X lately, which are absolutely nuts. And then I think that might be about it. But before I do that. It was kind of a big deal yesterday and today. If we get into a little bit of a big... I can't fucking talk right now. Oh, yeah, BitGo Holdings, BTGO, their initial public offering, well above its indicated range on Wednesday, raising $212.8 million, paving way for the first stock market debut by a digital asset company in 2026. That's about it. I just read that verbatim off Reuters. I don't know when they're actually going to be doing anything yet, but...
I've got the stream being set up on StockTwits right now, so you guys can all come and talk about it there. Well, I mean, what exactly does BitGo do?
They do like a lot of like custody of holding crypto. They're not like a thing where you go like, ooh, it's a crazy exchange like Coinbase or Kraken. They're kind of in the making everything work nicely together. They are like I don't know if they're the largest, but they're one of the largest. Like Coinbase is, I think, the largest custody holder for crypto, but BitGo is like that is their business. I think they're the biggest where that is their only business is crypto custody. So, Yeah, that's kind of a big deal from the institutional side for them to go public and get enough investment. And for something that isn't like crazy like an exchange or a treasury at 212 million, that's kind of cool. Oh, Goldman Sachs and Citigroup are the underwriters. Oh, that's important.
Yep.
Let's see. Top performers here. You have Canton Network, which you really can't trade in a lot of places. They're up 4.5% today. Tron, 0.84%, which is really surprising. Pi Network. World Liberty Financial, 0.58%. Hyperledger is up 0.28%, but they're down like almost 18% over the last 7 days. And yeah, not a lot of things screaming higher today. Most things are relatively flat. Most everything else is still in the red over the last week. Yeah, I mean, ETF flows been pretty crazy from the 12th to the 16th. There was Bitcoin had $1.5 billion in inflows. Ethereum had 480 million, and then on the 20th, 483 million in outflows from Bitcoin and 230 million in outflows from Ethereum. So that kind of sucks, but that is what it is. Tariffs kind of fooked around with Bitcoin and crypto's price, but it's come back. I understand. Actually, I do know that because everything was green yesterday by the close. Did it hit any of the other crypto adjacent stocks much? I didn't pay attention to those.
I saw Figure was down a good amount yesterday, but it hasn't had like the ripple effect that I expected. I mean, you saw like the initial dump in gold and silver when it turns out we weren't throwing the tariffs on, but I mean, it was just like that knee-jerk reaction that seemed to have tapered off.
Yeah. I think love or hate Trump. I don't remember where I read this, but it was a good example of like somebody who was negotiating for something, asked for something absolutely ridiculously stupid when you really want is just that one thing. And then everybody walks away. Winner's like, oh, we're not getting invaded. Henny's not going to buy it. He just wants to have it. Okay, let's do that.
So this is where people always get, you always see the hate, but I mean, he's got a whole book on this, his whole art of the deal. It's like you ask for something insane when all you really want is something small. And yeah, now he can put a military base wherever he wants. Who knows how many military bases. He can get his golden dome. And there's mineral rights involved for the U.S. and we pay nothing. Like, I'm looking at this like, this is a damn good deal for the United States. Like Denmark, I don't know what you get out of this, but I mean, as Greenland, it's like chances are you're getting protection in the United States for free. So, I mean, that might be compensation in itself. Also,
can they build like AI and data centers there without like causing everything to melt?
So that's something I was going to ask you because I was talking when we were in our Arizona offsite and we have someone here that was saying they put a lot of data centers in Iowa because it's the lowest cost per energy. Plus it gets super cold. So they can like almost open up an area that lets all the cold air in. So I was like, well, why aren't we just putting data centers in Alaska and use Maine and Greenland if cooling's the big issue? I'm assuming it's more about like the overall infrastructure because, all the snow and ice would probably make it difficult to build the power plants necessary. But if they could figure that out, I mean, we're putting data centers in space and we can't figure out how to put them in ice.
I feel like we could figure that out. You know what? You could just do like a lot of people who don't take care of their boats do on lakes when it starts to freeze over. And like if they have like a pontoon boat, freezes over, might wreck the buoys a little bit, but maybe just put the data centers on a lot of pontoon boats. So in case the ship melts, at least it's still floating and you can move it somewhere else. I don't know if that would work, but yeah, there you go.
You got to go patent that idea right now. Pontoon data centers.
Pontoon. They all float up here. Oh shit, I just lost my Google Doc thing. Hold on. Where'd it go? Give me a minute.
You got the doc on your iPad?
My Google.
Look at you.
I hate Apple. Okay. I like Apple, the brand. I hate all the stuff they make. That makes any sense.
Interesting.
So I don't know if there's an analogy for that or not. Maybe it's like, I like everything church stands for. I just don't like the parts where I can't do what I want because it's a sin. Does that make sense? I don't know that.
It makes perfect sense.
Edit it in there somewhere where it looks and sounds nice. Okay, so that was our vibe check. Let's see. I want to get into some. We're going to go into some hard stops. Oh yeah, hard stops. Things that really suck. Let's see. So the largest social engineering theft, $282 million, a single victim. Somebody from the Trezor community, a person impersonating Trezor, got a hold of this guy, convinced him that they were from support, and got a hold of his crypto, stolen 1,459 Bitcoin, 2 million Litecoin. Oof. And then the guy converted the funds into Monero, and that was enough to pump Monero 70%. Over 4 days, which that explains it then.
Yeah, I was asking you about that. When I saw you post, I was like, what? At the time, it was up 54%. I was like, what could have done this? And then this news breaks. It's like, oh, okay.
I saw some boobs on other publications like, they're rotation out of Zcash into Monero. That's what's doing. It's like, I don't think that's what's happening. Like the on-chain activity of Zcash, we actually did some fucking investigation, people. There's nothing moving off of there. If anything, things move into the shielded protocol in Zcash. But yeah, Zach XBT, the guy who does a lot of these investigations, says it was not North Korea. So yeah, that was pretty sucky. That is. And also from Look On Chain, if you guys ever want to follow and keep track of where the craziest liquidations happen, Look On Chain on X. They are fantastic. They'll highlight a whale like this user's wallet, 113 million Doge, $14.56 million worth. Their long position was liquidated, resulting in a total loss of $2.7 million. That was on the 18th. And then, this is Maki Big Brother. You can follow him too. He was liquidated another 5 times on the 20th. He had 6.67 million in leveraged ETH, and his total P&L negative 24 million.
So going back to the $282 million loss, if you have been in the game this long and you've built up that much in wealth, how are you getting scammed that easily? Like the Trezor support, like how do you not have a team of people or lawyers and all these people ensuring that you're getting legitimate phone calls? And why are you talking to them in the first place?
That's two things to that. I had a phone. I wrote an article about it last year, sometime in the spring or the summer, about like getting a phone call from Coinbase, and it sounded very, very authentic. And the thing about it was they were using American accents. It sounded just like Frank from 3 blocks down talking to me. So it wasn't like a thick non-American accent, which always raises red flags to people naturally here in the States. But this one sounded very legit. Of course, I've been in the game a while, and you get bombarded by emails from Coinbase saying, we will never reach out to you. And if somebody does, it's not us, that's a scam. And the same with like all these other like wallets and exchanges, like saying, we will not reach out to you. Like you have to reach out to us. We won't do it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this happens, but people are getting very good. I had a little note here. I wrote that the victim was tricked into revealing his seed phrase. This wasn't a weakness on Trezor's part. This was just psychology. The guy got hoodwinked, which is very important. It sucks, really sucks. But what do you do? Okay, let's see. Market movers. The CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They are adding Cardano, Chainlink, and Stellar futures starting February 9th. Strategy bought 2.13 billion Bitcoin between the 12th and the 19th. God, there's so much snow coming down. Unbelievable. And then I'll get into like the article I did yesterday, the death cross for Bitcoin. I'll get into that a little bit. But first, I want Joey to talk a little bit about I want to hear more about like Figure, and I just want to hear more about. I pay attention to like all the crypto tickers when it comes to real world asset tokenization, but I admittedly don't pay much attention to like individual stock tickers that are involved in the space.
Yeah, so this is one of the companies that, I like to find the crossover between crypto and equities. And I see Figure Technology Solutions, our CEO, Howard Lindzon. I remember one of the first things he said is, get this listed on the platform. It's going to be huge. And I don't hear that very often from him. You always hear about companies he's invested in a while back, but like to hear this about a fresh IPO, like this will be huge. He had great things to say about the CEO, like one of the smartest people when it comes to the space that he operates in. So that's when I hit Jonathan. I was like, hey, do you know these guys? Are they legit? How big are they in the space? I saw it's mostly like lending against your crypto assets. So you're not selling that to then buy something. And then you see they've got this whole blockchain native marketplace for all things loans when it comes to your tokenized assets. So, with a lot
like they're in the lending, crypto side of lending too?
Yeah. So how they explain themselves, leading blockchain native capital marketplace for the origination, funding, sale, and trading of tokenized assets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like it's still one of those businesses, I haven't dug enough into it to really understand it. But I mean, you're looking at it, so they've got their own versions of HELOC, cash out refinance, democratized prime, crypto-backed loans. And then what really caught my eye is just the overall performance of the stock. So you've got it to where it's up 110% in the last year. It's already at 50% this year alone. And when you look at the financials of this thing, I mean, everything moving in the right direction. You got revenue surging, profitable already. It just looks like a great business. I just don't know if this is one of those where it's going to be cyclical or based on like the performance of Bitcoin. Like, is this going to be one of those that kind of trades choppy? And so far, that's not the case.
Do they have a dividend?
I have not seen a dividend. Let me see.
If they do a dividend, that'd be probably a big deal. Like one of the nice things about like the lending space in crypto is like you have the ability to participate in those lending pools. So when people like take a loan out and you're providing part of that capital, like you get a return on it when they pay it back, or if they get auto liquidated when prices go down. So, it's that's the fun part. I think. Now, let me be clear. It's not fun when you get liquidated. It's fun though if you are the person whose money's basically protected that you borrowed. That makes sense.
Agreed. But yeah, I'm looking at this. It's got net revenue up 55%. Net income up 227% year over year. Adjusted EBITDA margin of 55.4%. So I mean, like, this is just a very profitable business. Now, the thing that gets me is now the multiple seems a bit extended to where the stock itself is getting expensive. But, a lot of what I've learned over the years is, great companies, if it's an expensive stock, it tends to never be inexpensive. Like, look at Shopify since it's come public. Like, it has never been cheap. And it hasn't stopped it from, being up, 2,000, 3,000%.
I mean, I don't know. It could. So Aave, I don't know if you're familiar with Aave. Aave's the Bitcoin of the lending space in crypto. And their numbers just keep going straight up and to the right. Even during like downtimes, the amount of people utilizing their platform, not just for, by the way, these are like people who are providing the money basically for borrowing. This is like a great example of decentralized finance. But Aave keeps going up. And so if they're in the same space, because this is like getting access to capital, like loans. Here in the States, we're like, 15% is like freaking criminal. That's nothing for a lot of places around the planet who don't have an ease of access to a lender. But if you can get it on chain anywhere around the globe, that's very accessible. And there's a lot more people around the globe who need access to easy to access capital than there are people who already have it. So I think it's just going to be a much bigger growing space over time. Just going to get a lot bigger.
Yeah, and you look at the consumer loan marketplace volume was only $2.5 billion in Q3. So yeah, when you're talking like just how big this could be and how small it is now, just look at any of the big banks, like how much their origination volume is, and then compare it to Figure. It's like, okay, this could be like in its absolute infancy.
And this is why the big banks are like, please, politicians, don't make us compete with decentralized finance. They really don't want that to be a thing that they have to deal with. And then these cucks at the big banks are like, this is really going to hurt regional banks and small mom pop banks. It's like, you didn't give a fuck about them to begin with. Now you're just using them as like pull on some heartstrings that don't exist, and nobody cares about you anymore. That's my rant about that.
They just want their $15 wire transfer fees and all the other nonsense fees that they drop on people. Just like the big credit cards. They're all up in arms that they can't charge 28, 30% interest rates on consumers because Trump wants to cap it at 10% for a year. It's like, sorry.
This is another thing I think is like awesome, where Trump's like 10%, Jamie Dimon and all them like, well, we're just going to have lenders. But eventually what's going to happen, they're probably going to be like, it's going to cap at like 18. Or something where he's asking for like a stupid amount, which would legitimately like kill credit card lending for the majority of people. But like that's probably not the end goal. People probably got to read that book, or just salespeople in general just have to explain how these things work.
Exactly. You're at 30. I'm going to say 10, so we say, hey, let's meet in the middle.
Yeah. Except I tried this negotiating tactic a couple times, tried it with Rob during my performance review. It didn't work. All he said was, the salary's correct. I thought there'd be a little, nope, that was all it was. You can put that in the stream, Keith, because that'll be funny.
Yeah, if we could pull that clip specifically to send to Rob, and then, I mean, maybe it's me and Barclay next week.
Yeah.
You'll all
Great
know
talking
why.
with y'all. See you somewhere else. Okay. Oh, yeah. I wanted to go over. So yesterday I went through from 2011 to 2026. I looked at every single death cross. For those of you who don't know what a death cross is, it is a technical condition where the 50-day moving average moves below the 200-day moving average, and everybody's like, oh, there's just the end of the world. And Bitcoin, this has happened in 11 years. Over the last 11 years, it has happened. We're on our 13th time because it just made its 13th death cross in November on the 25th. Wait, that's Thanksgiving, isn't it? No. Wait, or is it 24th Thanksgiving? What day is Thanksgiving?
It's like the third Thursday of November, the fourth Thursday. So it's always different. I know this because my daughter's birthday is the 28th, and she's had like 2 birthdays fall on Thanksgiving, maybe 3, and others just like right around. I think it's the fourth Thursday.
Maybe it was the 27th. The 20th or the 27th. Well, either way, regardless. Anyway, so I went through all of them, and the in a nutshell, let me pull up my notes, is that there have been half of those, so 50% of all of the death crosses have been fake outs, where they have resolved, with the fake outs have resolved within 65 days, where they moved back above the 200-day moving average. Anything that has gone beyond that has been in like an extended downtrend. So half of the death crosses, it's a coin flip if you want to use the death cross as a measure in Bitcoin. And I'm like, okay, well, how many have there been in the S&P 500? So I went to investing.com, downloaded all the daily data going back to as far as it went, which was like August 1979. How many death crosses has the S&P 500, if you had to guess, for like 40-ish plus years?
Man, I feel like since I started investing in 2009, there's been like one a year. It's always, the death cross, the black swan event, the quad witching, where we're all supposed to, lose everything and die. That has really never panned out. So if we're talking, you said since 1979?
Since 1979.
I'm going to say like 210 death crosses.
Okay. I was like in the back of my brain, like there's got to be like 150, 160. Like I was just like, okay. But I checked. 21.
What?
That's it.
I feel like there's been 50 since I started.
In the S&P 500, there have been 21 death crosses where the 50-day has moved below the 200-day. And it's been a false signal for the S&P 500 81% of the time. The average one-year return from a death cross is 9.4%. And that has only ever resulted in a real like bear market signal or a confirmation 19% of the time, 4 times. Whereas Bitcoin averages like 1.2 of these a year. That is the stat over the last 11 years. Or sorry, since over the last 15 years. Yeah, 2011. I know math. False signal rate 50% of the time. I looked at like what does it do 90 days after? Basically, if it's most things resolve 90 days after the death cross, price returns back above the 200-day. That happens almost 100% of the time for Bitcoin, but it's a small sample rate. 100% doesn't really mean anything, but yeah, it's the point I was making though is that 90 days from the death cross was basically around Thanksgiving. The date of importance to check out coming up is February 14th, Valentine's Day. So, yeah, that is the date to look for. Because if Bitcoin's not back above that 200-day by then, that could be a very ugly sign for price action. Just for Bitcoin. That doesn't mean the whole market has to collapse, but that is generally what happens when Bitcoin does.
My favorite part of this is when you get the death cross and we're all supposed to die, but then like a week later, it's like, oh, we've got the golden cross. And it's like, well, that was very short-lived.
And the other thing is these are lagging indicators, like the longest of lagging indicators of the basic measures that people use. 50 days lagging, 200 days lagging. I mean, the damage has most of the time already been done. Because really, if you think about it, it already had to have. It's really just confirming that it was ugly. So, yeah, and that the ugliness has lasted for a while. So, yeah, things like death crosses and golden crosses, at least for Bitcoin, they're just like headline news generators. They're not, you put death cross, it's like, oh, what is this? It makes people look at it. But
yeah, it's all the fear mongering, markets in turmoil, all those different segments. It's chasing eyeballs based on fear.
Absolutely. It is just, what is it in this? What are the bigger things in like stonks lately as far as what are people freaked out about the most?
I mean, recently it's been tariffs. So like
it's the same thing.
The whole thing with Greenland. Yeah, it's the same old nonsense. And then like if the Supreme Court rules the tariffs to be illegal and we have to like give all this money back that we don't really have, like it's not like it's just sitting in a bank somewhere. Like, oh, here's the hundreds of billions we've collected in tariffs. It's not just sitting there. So that's the big overhang.
I don't get why would they have to give it back though?
Because so that's the whole thing. Like if the Supreme Court rules that he put the tariffs in place illegally, then those should have never been collected in the first place because, it's a lot of American companies paying the tariffs to import it from overseas. So then like Costco was suing because they want their money that they've had to pay back in tariffs. So then like Apple would get a ton of money. So you think all like the big companies that are paying these tariffs would want that money back. So it's not like we're shipping it off.
$3 hot dog.
$1.50 hot dog.
$1.50 hot dog. I mean,
you're getting 2 glizzies.
I am. Yeah, I usually got one of the kids with me when I go get to Costco. God, that store is just like it's just like a money leech. I need one thing. There's a truck full of stuff.
I get a text from a friend who was at Costco this past weekend, and he's like, Joey, they're mixing up pre-workout to give to people as they're like shopping the store. So usually if you've got like Liquid IV or one of those companies, they're like mixing up and they'll say, hey, and this, this has caffeine in it if it's the caffeinated version. Apparently they didn't have the warning label. They weren't telling people. And you think the Costco consumers, they don't care what it is. It's free. So you just got random people taking shots of pre-workout, probably don't know.
People
like
just juice going down the aisles. Like, God, I need this. Look how much I can lift, Dad. Rah!
And he was saying this was by the checkout. I was like, they should have put that at the open of the store. You'd have everybody
they should have done
raging.
that.
Sales would have tripled because everybody's like, oh, we need more. Just lifting stuff to lift it. Like it was probably a very smart
tried this white powdered nasal cleanser? It's fantastic.
Most profitable store overnight.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh yeah, I've often thought about some of the things that I don't think I've really like eaten any of the things that they mix randomly for me before. It's usually just like the itty bitty little cups.
Yeah, your little half shot glass of liquid IV, those types of things. But no, I've never seen the pre-workout before. I was like, that's a bold move.
That is crazy.
I just hoped it was like loaded with beta alanine so you get the itchy face and everyone's just running around scratching.
Oh, that stuff is weird. Like that tingly ass feeling like your skin's falling off your body.
Dude, that is my absolute favorite. Weird. I'll get extra beta alanine to put in there because, yeah, you just get like, it feels like you're getting poked with needles in the face and you want to like rip your eyebrows off. Nothing
Back
better.
when I was big into lifting, I remember the first time I took that, and like I'm a natural anxious person. I was like, Jesus Christ, what am I dying? Am I going to have to go to the ER? What is this? It's like burning. It was. Now it's like, no, I get it now. Now it's just a weird response. All right, I'm sorry. Institutional watch. This is next, Keith. Sorry, Keith is probably checked out by now.
He's like, I'm done with you guys.
Oh, he's here. Okay. Institutional watch. Let's see. Oh, the crypto assets under management, they are expecting to exceed 400 billion by year end. Currently, it's at 200 billion. And they're expecting 100 plus new crypto ETFs to launch. I couldn't find anything definitive if they were thinking like what tickers, if there was going to be new treasuries. By the way, these crypto treasuries are just exit liquidity for people. Like they're most of them are just a huge fucking scam. Speaking of huge fucking scams, Tom Lee's Bitmine bought a lot more, but he thinks Bitcoin's going to 180K before January 31st. So he's not a lot of days left.
Well, I mean, Ethereum was supposed to be 7,500 by December 31st, and that worked out very well. I mean, I used to love Tom Lee's opinion when it came to equities, and as soon as he got like his going too much about Bitcoin and immersion technology and all this stuff, he's kind of gone off the rails for me.
He is such a smart dude, and I used to like follow him religiously, but I don't know what it is. Like of all the things, all the cryptos that you could have like thrown hundreds of millions of dollars in, why Ethereum? Out of everything, why
I honestly
Ethereum?
think because Michael Saylor picked the big one, he wanted to go with number 2. Like he should have looked at because. Yeah, I could have picked like 5 other ones that I thought would be better over the long term, made more sense. But no, I honestly think he just thought, well, Saylor's got Bitcoin. I want the number 2, and I want to try to make Ethereum bigger.
Oh, yeah, here's what I don't remember. Maybe I wrote this a few days ago. Oh, my bullet point here. Mention the stupid amount of money he's wasting on that stupid shitcoin Ethereum. That should have just said that.
Yeah, I've never met like a serious crypto expert or like professor like yourself that thinks Ethereum is the best.
Professor.
It's always kind of like it's essentially a shitcoin.
Yeah, I don't quite understand the reasoning that he would want, but whatever. Okay, let's see. And then Keith, going into the close here. So what's coming up? So the Clarity Act is supposed to get voted on maybe by the 27th. That's supposed to occur. The CME futures launch for Cardano, Stellar, and the other one I don't remember. That happens on February 9th. And then I did have written down here, tariff deadline February 1st and EU retaliation to be determined. That's not a thing anymore. So a lot of the stuff we want to talk about with Greenland, just poof. That's it. I don't think there's anything. Let's see. I don't think anything. Let's see. There's nothing really else on this list here.
Yeah, the only other major thing would be the Supreme Court ruling on tariffs, but that just keeps getting kicked down the road.
Oh yeah, when is that
so,
supposed to happen?
I mean, it was supposed to be like last Thursday, and it was supposed to be the previous Monday, Now it could be tomorrow. Like the date just keeps changing. I think it's to the point where the Supreme Court, like basically everyone's talking like, look, this has a serious impact on the financial markets. Like this needs to be discussed thoroughly before anything happens. Not that the Supreme Court would rush something, but
they're like behind like closed doors, like, okay, this might be the right thing to say, but also it could fuck everything up really bad for everybody.
Yeah, because I mean, I've done a significant amount of Gemini research. I don't know what kind of weight that holds, but it's like the president has powers to do, and it kind of like listed off each thing that he put in place based on, you know, whether it's national security, protecting your own industry. Like there's all these different laws that they can use to determine if tariffs can be placed. I mean, they categorized each tariff that they put on all these other nations very, very directly.
Yeah,
so I mean, it seems legit to me.
Yeah, that was something that I remember kind of like looking up too, is that, I mean, I think like most people are like, oh, he just said there's a tariff and there's a tariff. But yeah, like to your point, there has been like the legal part of it, like the people who, you know, like helped the president draft these things, because no one fucking person can do it. They had to have made sure that, you know, all the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed.
Yeah, you have to like,
it came out with the tariff.
If you're going to put a tariff on a country, you have to pick like the bucket as to what you're doing or why this tariff is being placed. Is it for national security, like chips on like Taiwan or whatever we were going to do with those? And then like, if it's shoes from Cambodia or whatever it is, like you got to pick a category for this. So like each thing's categorized to where it's within their legal authority. So I doubt that they were doing this. And if it were illegal to be doing it, they would have stomped this down a long time ago.
Which is also kind of funny, because anybody who did any research into this, like some of those EU politicians who are like, this doing a tariff just because of Greenland, probably could have just Googled this and said, oh, I don't think that this is in U.S. law where the president can issue a tariff because he wants an iceberg.
Yeah, so I'm sure they were going to categorize it as national security. Like if we didn't get this, it's a national security risk. These people are holding this back. I'm sure they found some sort of loophole, but probably in the back of his head was like, maybe this is pushing it into a gray area. Let's get them to balk quicker. And I mean, those imaginary tariffs were on for what, like a week, if that?
Yeah.
He put out the tweet on, or the Truth Social post on Saturday.
That's right. You remember what Howard was saying about like how the real time insider stuff?
Yeah.
When he was talking about like X isn't this place for like real time breaking stuff. It's with most of this financial stuff and the root cause with Trump, and that it's actually Truth Social. That X, I thought that was pretty insightful. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's one thing. Yeah, like my whole group that we were in, we didn't really think of it that way. Because you think, well, X did this really quickly. It's like, well, that was still in response to what he said over here. It's like the constant change of where the real-time source is. And really the real-time source is whoever he's having tweet that. Because we've kind of seen the videos where he's telling, okay, here's what you're going to say, post this. Mm-hmm. But there's so much that could happen in those, minutes leading up to the actual posting.
I don't remember the videos I was watching, but it was like these candid videos of like, this was earlier this year, but like Trump and Musk like sitting next to each other, and like they were showing each other's phones. Like, I don't remember who posted it, but somebody in the room was like, yeah, they were checking each other's tweets that they were sending out live and both laughing at them. It was like, that's fucking hilarious. The most powerful man in the world, the richest man in the world, are like, yeah, look at this troll post I made. And he's probably like, I can beat you, blah. It was just fucking hilarious. I sat next to Howard for our dinner at the group. Tried selling him on hymns the whole time, and then he stopped talking to me.
Oh yeah, that's one area you just don't go with Howard.
I didn't go there at all. I just but yeah. So well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks for watching Joey and I. Don't forget to watch Joey and his co-host Mike in True Odds. I'm going to point down to the screen somewhere, because then the people who make these videos, like, that's where they put like the check it out button or the little,
subscribe
thing.
Now.
Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, anyways, we'll see you all next week.